Hello everyone, welcome to a new video, and this is the first building tutorial on my channel. And today we're going to be building something that I personally build a lot of them, and I'm not bad at it, at least I don't think I am. So today we're going to be building a floating island. So let's get into the time lapse. So you're going to want to start with building the upper base, which is lines outlining how big approximately you want your island to be. Now, a good thing to remember is to not have each of them the same length. That makes it look a lot more natural. Then you're going to want to start building with stone the lower base. This is just a line down. Remember to go a little bit farther than you think, because as you can see in the background, some of the other islands are kind of rounded at the bottom rather than pointed. So if you want rounded, go low. Don't go as low, but if you want pointed, go lower. Then start building lines from the bottom of the bottom base to the edges of the top base. This will be your main outline for the bottom half of the island, or the bottom part of the island, that is all the stone part of the island, essentially. Now, something to remember is to not make it so that there is just one piece of stone on the edge of the grass, so that there's like multiple layers of stone beneath the grass before it starts going in. Next, you're going to want to finish the upper base outline, which will determine exactly what your island will be shaped like. After you finish that, start filling it in. Just go from one of so we're going to call the bits going from the bottom part to the upper, from the lower base to the upper base. We're going to call those diagonals. We're just going to say that for now. So just connect those up in a natural way, and then when it starts getting far enough apart, build another one going from where you are now to the back up to the upper base, and just continue this cycle until the whole thing is completed, pretty much. It's really easy. Just do it naturally, and try to make sure it doesn't go out of the thing. Sometimes I have to check, like you just saw there. Make sure that, as you can see here, I am making edits around. Like, just because that's what you built, you can get rid of it. That's part of building. You have to remember that you can change what you've built. Now, as you can see here, we then move on to the next one, doing the same pattern. And alright, so around this point, you're going to want to make sure that there is at least one layer of stone underneath each grass block. So yeah, do that to make sure that you know that you have a better idea of where you're actually going. Also, credit to AM111607 for recording. He has a YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description. He went to spectator mode and recorded this for me. This is actually on his server, Tenet, Eternus.tenet.org or something like that. And also, Tenet has three N's in it. I'll put the link to this server in the description as well. And another thing, you may have noticed that some of the islands have things on them. This is actually in the shopping district for the server. And as you can see here, we're just continually doing the same pattern on each of the sides. Now remember, to make it natural, don't make anything that looks like a lot like a square, nor anything that is just a straight diagonal, like just one block diagonals. Those don't look natural on floating islands, at least. Another tip is when you're going towards the end of it, start building from the top rather than from the bottom. Now you could just do that to begin with, but I'd say that's probably harder, because you have to start with a wider thing. You'd probably have to start by making a lot more of the diagonals, rather than you being able to start without using diagonals, and then make a few, but not too many as you go along. Now, I usually leave my islands hollow, but you can fill them in if you want. But I think it's just unnecessary because most people won't be seeing that part anyways. As you can see, the island is starting to take shape. You can see that everything is looking pretty natural, and it ends in one point. Now, my islands usually end in one point. That's just usually how I make the smaller ones like this. But you can create multiple points. It's slightly trickier, but if you just use the same tactics, use the same rules, just do the same patterns, but just slightly adjust them to exactly what you're doing, and it should work. I started a large floating island on a different server, didn't finish it, but it was very big. I put 2 points. I'll put a picture of it, the unfinished version of it, up right now. And as you can see, in that one, there's a cliff and 2 layers. It's pretty complicated. But anyways, back to the one we're building right now. As you can see, it's almost done, and it's looking pretty good. But as you can see there's a few square bits, which is something you have. If it's gonna look good, you have to fix that. Like right there, it's not very good. So you'll see in a second here, I'm gonna fix that. So also over here, like this one, I made quite a few mistakes on to fix. But see there, just add a few things, make it gradual, and just fix it. It should be good. Yeah, there you go. So that's most of it done. That's the hardest part. Now the rest of it, you just have to fill it all in. The rest is you filling the grass in and adding any terrain stuff you want. Most of the islands over here are pretty flat. Over in the shopping district are really flat, but some of them do have slight curvature and other things like hills, stuff like that. Another really good idea for decoration idea for floating islands is adding a river that flows down the side. That's always a really nice feature to add to floating islands. And as you can see there, it's done. This is our floating island. Ignore the square bit off to the left of the island. It's that was a result of me filling stuff, using the slash fill command to get some of the grass. But there you go. That is the island. That is the tutorial for building a floating island. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found this useful. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.